watching for 2013. This is our first episode. We've got the bitches back. I love that term. Taylor Divatini, are you a bitch today?
I'm a fill-in bitch today.
You're a fill-in bitch?
Yes, a fill-in
That's
bitch.
very good title, fill-in bitch. Natalie Foster, are you a bitch today?
I'm always a bitch.
And what about
Apparently.
you, June? Oh, well,
Oh,
June.
she is.
I'm actually sitting next to one.
Well,
I'm
you've
about
got someone
that,
actually
so, yeah.
seconding your bitch cliche. Thank you very much, June. And of course, Cameron Kippen, you're the lone male bitch.
Well, yes, I'm the real bitch, darling.
No impersonations of Ted Bull today?
No. Oh, my knee. No.
That's terrible. It's always about feet and knees and
I know, but
legs
he's
with
better. Ted is better back on the air.
Yes, thank you very much. He had a hip problem, didn't he? And I think he's all good anyway. But welcome back, Australia and New Zealand. If you haven't watched this before, which you wouldn't have if you're in New Zealand, because this is your first year with the couch. But can I just say, these people here will today run through some of the news stories that are making news. They're not always good news stories, but it's all we can find. So today we've got 4 great stories and maybe a 5th one if we have time. But Taylor, let's go with you first. This is about the girls that were being a bit drunk and stupid at
Yes,
McDonald's.
WA girls that went into a local McDonald's and ran wild. Now, I don't know if we've got the clip to show. Do you want me to talk?
Yeah,
Yes?
keep talking, you're right.
Okay, so what happened is they walked into their local restaurant and, as you can see on screen now, went totally wild, climbing all over the counter, making the guy behind, or guy or girl.
See, I've only
not
ever
sure,
done
behind
that
the
when my
counter.
McFlurry didn't have nuts in it.
Exactly.
That looks like June Kelly's underwear. Hang on a second, June.
Is that Jeff pulling you off
No,
the
is that
counter?
your shoes?
No, now what the big deal was with this guy here showing now, he actually stood up for the other people in the restaurant and showed his opinion and basically told the girls to start behaving, stop acting like, I won't use
Didn't
the
he
term.
call them sluts?
But yes, okay,
That's the
sluts, that's the term. And they got quite embarrassed actually, and then later on after this footage was shown all over the news, they had a few things to say in response
It's
to...
really funny you say this, Tay, because I heard 6PR and a lot of media all around
Yes.
Australia and hit the World Wide Web
It did.
on YouTube and that.
Spread like
And
wildfire.
Is it all about young people today? They see them as being into alcohol, being stupid, irresponsible. Is that the way you guys read
Yeah,
it?
too many
Yeah.
carbs as well. I
Basically-
I get like that.
What do you think, Nat, about this story?
I think, gosh, if you're a New Zealand viewer, thank goodness this didn't happen in New Zealand. They're here, Bogan Central. I just think, you know, where have the days gone where you used to stand up on the bus? Oh, wow, I've just become my grandmother. She had this discussion with me like, I don't know, 30 years ago. But no, I think it's embarrassing. You go out and get, you know, tanked, that's fine. But for goodness sake, take it home
Do it
and
at
have a
home.
dial-out pizza. That's what we all did.
And do you think, sorry, I'll ask June, then I'll come back and ask another question. June, what did you think about it?
Well, when I first seen the clip today, Nat, come on. When I first seen the clip today, it was I thought he was quite aggressive, and then I put myself there and thought about what type of behaviour. And I'm just saying, thank God
Would
they
you have
didn't
ever
catch me on
done that
video.
when you were young?
No, I would have been the one yelling at them probably, and
Okay.
probably a little bit more aggressive than him, because it's pretty bad when people behave that way.
Isn't it
out in
nice
public.
somebody actually stood up though?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Cameron, what do you reckon about this?
Oh, what a spoil sport. The thing is, I would actually do and have done what the man did.
You would have asked them out
So
afterwards.
what did he actually
Absolutely.
do, Cameron? What did the
Well,
man,
he
stood up to them, didn't
reacted to the situation.
He was a dad.
And shouted them down, rightly so. And of course, he himself is rather embarrassed that he had to do that. And I can understand that because I have done it once or twice myself. But the other thing that brings out to bear, and that's this expectation of privacy. If you do something in the open public, it's actually caught on film, goes on YouTube, you've lost the right to defend yourself,
privacy
literally.
as well.
And that's the end, you know, and people, it's like being on the stocks. What happens is folk will throw tomatoes and other things at you.
So how do we fix this up? What should these kids do? What should other kids do?
No
watching?
drinking till you get to 30.
Okay, June?
You're not allowed out of your room if you're going to be remotely
Okay,
badly
and
behaved. or
Taylor,
going in
you're
McDonald's.
19.
Yes.
Okay, what
and
do you
these,
think?
These girls were university students
Yep.
as well, so that's gives...
Would you
sort
ever
of
do
this-
that? Would you ever get smashed?
Of course I wouldn't. Mum
Yeah,
and
there
Dad
you
do not
go.
watch it. No.
And I think people should lay off the
not.
guy too. The guy only did what most Australians are too scared
I
to do.
don't think
And
anyone has
No.
really had a go.
Oh, they've
at
sort
him
of
like
said that he pushed the girl. She fell over. He shouldn't have touched her. But I think he did what he thought was right at the time. He didn't hurt anyone. He was just trying to make them a bit more grown up.
And I mean, parents out there, what if that was your two girls?
Exactly.
What sort of...
Well, I can tell you now, if it was my
That's
dad 30
disgusting.
years ago, we probably would have been slapped to Mars. Now you can't touch
That wouldn't
kids
have
anymore.
happened.
No
that actually
discipline
wouldn't
anymore.
have happened 30 years ago because
We'd be too
whatever
scared to.
happened, you wouldn't have seen it.
And we-
do that
that's it.
30 years ago. The
No,
only thing is
what
you
I
don't
mean's
get
on
caught,
video.
and you certainly don't get caught in video.
All right. Fair enough. Natalie, what's your story?
Oh, look, mine's a bit of a fun one. A Swedish church campus shocked parents by giving a 14-year-old campus a sex education class followed by certificates saying they're ready for sex. I think it's time I go back to church because this sounds like a whole lot of fun.
And it's good failing because you can go back and repeat the course.
Well, this is it, but I think quite a few of my exes have flunked this course many, many times. But what's happened is, I mean, it's a Lutheran church over there in Sweden. 15 you can have sex in Sweden. Must be because it's very cold over there.
How much does it cost to get to Sweden?
I don't know, but do you want to go?
I don't know.
But it's what's happened in the past. Young people have complained that the church doesn't talk about these. Clearly, the new pope that they just elected, he's not Swedish at all. But no one would complain about homework, would they?
No.
And I think a good idea, if this ever comes out to Australia, I'd be letting your 14-year-old son study with the door closed. Just saying, because obviously there's some homework that needs to be done. But it's, I don't know, like 14 and you've got a certificate you can hang proudly up on the wall saying, ready to shag.
But aren't kids having sex now, 12, 13, 14? Seriously? Do you not think?
I don't know, because I'm not sleeping with 14, 15-year-old kids.
No, but I'm saying we hear it all the time on the news. Kids are getting pregnant very young.
Yeah.
Kids are very active, sexually active.
So you might as well do it right, is that what you're saying?
Well, I'm saying, isn't it good that they might get taught what to do? Like contraception side of it.
I
Yeah, but
don't
get a
agree.
qualification.
The thing is, I don't see a problem
I knew
with,
you would.
with this sort of
I knew I'd have
course
one
and
person
approach,
supporting.
yes.
But
But
then
any informed sex, there's nothing better.
Do
But
we
the
think-
idea that
Yeah.
parents get miffed because all of a sudden it comes out in a form that you get a certificate.
But is that not also saying to kids, okay, you're 14 now,
Go and have
here's your
sex.
certificate, go and have sex?
do
mean,
agree.
I know that it's happening, but
Maybe a
you're not.
practical
At
component to the
14,
course,
but,
which you get later on.
but Cam, at 14, 15, you're still a kid. I don't care
Well,
what
you can still be
say.
pregnant
You
at
can have
that
babies and you can get
Mm.
pregnant, but at the end of the day, go and play with your Nintendo stick.
Exactly.
That's all you should be playing with. There's plenty of time for sex and to be disappointed in the bedroom.
Quick comment from you, June?
On that particular one,
About
I'm
playing with your
thankful
stick.
that my children have grown up. If that's what's happening nowadays, and it's getting younger and younger.
And Taylor, what do you think, being the youngest on the panel?
Yeah, well, I'm obviously
Would
not
you
a
go to a
parent,
sex
but-
camp?
No. I mean, I don't know why the Swedes are doing this, but you wouldn't see anything like
they're
this happening in
weirdos.
Australia, would you?
Personally, I think to wrap this one up, I think they should do an online course.
An online course.
If you know what I
Yeah.
mean. Do it online. No one can see. You get your certificate through the email.
Keep the
I'm looking for
bedroom
the
door
hands-on
shut.
course.
June, hands-on, you reckon? June, what do you think? What's next?
What's mine? What I was looking at discussing today is one that we've heard a lot about, which is stamp duty. We have stamp duty in Australia for first-home buyers in WA up to 500,000, where it's actually
That's where you pay a tax for what, property?
for purchasing a property. And what I think that they actually should be having a look at is what happens with pensioners who have got really big house. Well, not really
They might have $1
big.
million house they bought
No,
for 100,000.
but there could
Don't
be.
ask her $1 million because she's
No,
done
no,
the
I've worked
sums
it out
on
on
400.
400,
Oh,
which
okay.
is a mathematical, pretty well average house.
So on a
but they've got-
$400,000 house, what would a pensioner
They'd
be
be
paying?
paying about $13,000.
That's a lot of money to a
stamp
pensioner.
duty. Now, if they're trying to downsize and actually get into any care type unit or anything like that, you've still got stamp duty. Why is the government not exempting pensioners? And to me, that's something it should be. It's really important that
It
should
is.
be
That's
happening.
a high end I gets.
It
That's
is. I mean, that's their.
Well, they'll
cut.
probably be able to live in
That
one
might
after
be-
they sell the house.
Or you put the seats down.
But
plenty
by
of
the
room.
time they've paid agent fees like mine, it works out around
So you think
22,000
that
or
you think they
400.
should scrap the stamp duty
I
on
think they should
pensioners?
absolutely scrap it for pensioners because most of them can't move. I mean, there's a couple of situations at the moment now where those people cannot move out of their house because by the time they sell it and get a smaller house, with all the money that's lost, they've got no ability to do it.
And June's also saying that if you live in the northern suburbs and you're a pensioner, she won't charge you anything to sell the house.
Call us now.
Discount fee.
Call June. And the thing is, the whole idea of GST was that they were going to get rid of all these stamp duties and other taxes. That was one of the ones that they kept. And it was supposed to go.
So maybe
But, I
with the
mean,
new
most-
government.
The not first home
They'll put
buyers,
it up.
pensioners are actually living way below the poverty line, really.
Pensions
So-
haven't gone up when you think the
No,
cost of living.
and yet they
GST.
still charge them exactly the same.
But
as
you can
everyone
still
else.
live in a high end gates.
Well, that's maybe where most of them have to live
If
it
they're
comes
quite
down
short.
to downsizing.
Thank you very much. I know we're running out of time, so I'm going to move straight on to Cameron. Cameron, your topic?
Me, Yes, my topic is really, apparently, I didn't realise this, but bosses can be plonkers, and that a lot of employees find them very distasteful and horrid. people.
Really? Has anyone ever had a plonker's employer?
Yeah, well, yes, I have. I've had a few, actually. I must say, I've overtaken one or two of them. But,
So what are they saying exactly?
Well, basically, they're saying that they're very frustrated under the direction and guidance of a complete dickhead, which they would call a boss. And of course, there's been this massive survey done in the US where they've actually looked at and listed the number of poor people who, in fact, have to work for dickos. And at the top of the list are chemists and
Really?
material
Chemists are-
science.
Oh, hang on. Top of the list, jobs where you're most likely to hate the boss. Isn't that Labor politicians?
Oh,
Political.
yes,
Oh, that's a
very nice,
Julia
rather
Gillard
nice.
type remark.
Yes,
there.
absolutely.
Having a dig at Julia, it's so not
I know,
fair.
I
Leave it
like
for the next show.
conflict.
Exactly. So the next time you're at the pharmacist and the lady comes to serve you, she probably doesn't like her boss.
Okay, what else? What other professions? What was number 2?
Dental hygienist.
Who blames them with that one?
I'm always embarrassed when you go to the dentist or the dental hygienist because they always want to engage you in conversation with your mouth open.
And they say, please don't
Any
talk.
others?
Bakers.
Bakers. See, I like
Yes.
bakers. You reckon it's bad working for a baker?
You can
Well,
have
again,
like
it's
two
when you're an
companies.
employed by the baker.
I suppose they're always trying to get
And
you
the
to the
other
back of
thing
that
is-
van.
Food service managers. Well, of course, the thing is, if you've got girls akimbo on your your desk and people shouting at you, maybe it's time to
I
shout at the
also
boss.
noticed with that, it wasn't even to do with money so much. That wasn't relevant, was it? It was
No,
like,
it's just the
Who hates the
stress,
boss?
who hates the
frustration.
boss?
Yeah.
So
and
do you agree with all
frustration.
this, guys?
Well, I'd like to point out that I love my boss.
Yes.
Who may or may not be watching. But you know what makes life easier is when you do go into these places, like you go into the chemist or you go to the bakers or the dentist, smile. Because they might be having a bad
They
day.
might be having a bad day, like my orthodontist, if you're watching.
They bought a
Consider
nice
that,
Mercedes
consider
thanks
that.
to you. Or mum and dad.
He's got a life career
So
there.
in other words, be nice to the chemist, the dentist, the
Yeah.
baker, the food service manager, occupational health and safety specialist.
Aren't
just
podiatrists there at all?
Well, funnily enough,
Really?
we were before
I would have
checking
thought
on
podiatrists
high
would have
suicide
terrible.
rates, and apparently dentists are the highest.
Yes.
But who
Really?
picks them to the post are podiatrists.
Really?
Yes,
Suicide
because all
rates
you
are
need is one
podiatrists?
podiatrist in the population to commit suicide, and then that ups them.
Puts the scale up.
But I think the long and short of it is that caring for and sharing for others is a very lonely life. You can't actually be friends with your patients.
So should we be nice to these professions? Is that what we're saying?
Yes.
And gingivitis has a lot to answer for.
Can I
Not
just get,
spray before you go
can
to
I
the
get
dentist,
a quick
people.
reply, because I know we've run out of time, but coming up, election coming up September, we'll talk more about this maybe on the next Bitchin', but yes or no, Julia Gillard, will she be gone at the next election?
Yes. Yes. See ya.
Yeah, probably.
June?
I wouldn't like to pick up.
Okay, so you reckon no, she'll be gone?
Oh,
Cameron?
Hope so.
So we've got, what, a 90% poll here, or 100% saying she's gone. Maybe we'll talk about this more. Oh, well, I don't count.
Pauline
I'm
Hanson may be the Prime Minister within a couple of months.
Some say there's
Imagine
not
that,
much
don't like
difference.
it. Bush and chops for our New
And
Zealand.
do we all like the Prime Minister's new look this year with the glasses and the new suits?
Yeah, I don't mind the look.
Yeah,
I've
good.
got that librarian thing happening.
Does it really matter what she looks like as long as she does a good job?
Yeah.
Do you think people dwell too much on her glasses and her looks and the fact
Yes,
she's
and
a
you know
female?
what? It's worse for females.
It is.
Yeah.
I'll get phone calls going, why wearing, make believe
Well, whereas
plaid?
nobody cares what men wear.
No,
It's terrible.
clearly.
Thank you very much to
me?
Taylor Divatini. Thank you very much to
Thank
Nat
you.
Foster. Thank you very much to June Kelly. And thank you very much to Cameron Kippen. We'll tell you what the joke was later, Cameron.
Okay,
That's Bitchin' for another month. We'll be back next month with our bitches once again here on the couch. I hope you enjoyed it, New Zealand. I hope you put up with it, Australia.